Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Law Class of 2024 Commencement Ceremony. My faculty colleagues may sit now. You can. I am Bill McEveren, Interim Dean of the University of Minnesota Law School and the Gray, Plant, Moody, and Bennett Professor of Law. So on behalf of our faculty, our staff, and our alumni, let me offer the first of many official congratulations. We are so delighted to join all the proud family and friends from around the world, both here in person and those watching online. And they're all gathered to celebrate you, our 136th graduating class at today's commencement. Welcome to you all. This is a complex event to organize. So before going any further, I invite you to join me in recognizing all these people running around in headsets, staff from the law school and from Northrop, who worked so hard for months preparing for this important day. Let's join in thanking them. And I also want to share an important preliminary note about today. We know the University of Minnesota honors free speech and the expression rights of our community members, but demonstrations or disruptive activities are not permitted during this commencement celebration inside the auditorium. I expect that everyone in this auditorium is going to remain mindful of the purpose of today's event and not interfere with our community's rights, including the graduates and their guests, to see and hear and benefit from our celebration today. There is a designated area outside the auditorium for expression, and of course, non-disruptive expression is allowed. Now, I want to recognize some of our special guests who are joining us in person for this celebration. I want to start with two distinguished alumni who are here with us today. Our keynote speaker today is Luana Ojala, a member of the class of 1998. Welcome, Luana. I will introduce Luana more fully later on in the ceremony. I'd also like to welcome another of our alums, University Regent Janie Mayron, who will later confer degrees on our graduates. Regent Mayron is known to many of us as Judge Mayron because she is a retired federal magistrate judge who served with distinction on the U.S. District Court for the District of Minnesota for 14 years. A double gopher, she received her BA from the University of Minnesota in 1973 and her JD from the best law school in the world in 1976. She has held numerous leadership positions in nonprofit and legal organizations, including president of the University of Minnesota Alumni Association. For her service to the public and to the law, Regent Mayron received the University of Minnesota Alumni Service Award, the WCCO Good Neighbor Award, and the Highland Park Senior High School Hall of Fame Award. After her retirement from the bench, Regent Mayron joined the Board of Regents in 2019 and is currently serving as the chair of the board. Welcome, Regent Mayron. It is also my pleasure to introduce my boss, Provost Rachel T.A. Croson, who is here today on behalf of the university. Executive Vice President and Provost Rachel T.A. Croson is the Chief Academic Officer of the University of Minnesota Multi-Campus System and Provost for the Twin Cities campus, with overarching responsibility for fostering the academic excellence of the educational and research missions of the university, and providing leadership for undergraduate, graduate, and professional education. She came to the university from Michigan State University, where she served as Dean of the College of Social Sciences and MSU Foundation Professor of Economics. She is a professor of economics and the 2018 winner of the Carolyn Shaw Bell Award for furthering the status of women in the economics profession. Prior to her tenure at MSU, she served as Dean of the School of Business at the University of Texas at Arlington, Division Director for Social and Economic Sciences at the National Science Foundation, Professor and Director of the Negotiations Center at the University of Texas at Dallas, and Associate Professor at the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School. She earned her bachelor's degree in economics and the philosophy of science from the University of Pennsylvania, and her master's and PhD in economics from Harvard University. Welcome, Provost Croson. Thanks to all of you for joining us here today. And now I'd like to give a special welcome and a thanks to two of the most important groups joining us here today. First, thank you to the family and the friends who have supported our graduates through law school, and in particular, the spouses, partners, and children of those in the graduating class. Look, living with a stressed out law student or being friends with one is almost as challenging as attending law school. But I know our graduates would agree that they couldn't have done this without your love, patience, and support. Thank you on behalf of the law school and also on behalf of all our graduates. And second, some of you in our audience raised the people in funny hats in the front rows. They're now about to become attorneys. We know this is a special day for you as well. You made sacrifices, you offered support, and you provided limitless love. Today, you deserve thanks, and frankly, every bit as much congratulations as we give the graduates. And in particular, I want to recognize all the mothers here. Tomorrow may be Mother's Day, but today you get the gift of enormous pride in your child. Graduates, please rise, turn around, and show your appreciation to all the loved ones here honoring you today. So congratulations to all of you. Now, my final introduction is my pleasure to recognize the faculty of the law school. Family and friends, these are some of the people you've heard about. Perhaps there's a story of the professor who asked your student that first terrifying Socratic question. Or maybe you've heard about a treasured advisor, mentor, or instructor who was the source of inspiration. I'll tell you, at last night's graduation reception, I asked all of the graduates who was their favorite professor, and there were almost no repeats. Every person named a different special faculty member to them. So this today is your opportunity to meet them in person, or at least see their smiling faces. I'd ask everyone to hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. And faculty, please stand briefly as you're able when I announce your name. So we have Associate Dean Orrin Gross, Associate Dean Tom Cotter, Assistant Dean Mitchell Zamoff, Assistant Dean Rashaya G., Minnesota Law Class of 2013, David Cleveland, Prentice Cox, Minnesota Law Class of 1990, Charlotte Garden, Jill Hasday, Kevin Reitz, Kim Ronning, Jean Sanderson, Daniel Schwartz, Seiko Shastri, class of 2021, Francis Shen, Caleb Smith, Kiri Sommermeyer, Robert Stein, class of 1961, Minnesota Law, Megan Walsh, Jack Whiteley, Liliana Zaragoza, Carol Chomsky, June Carbone, Sarah Brennis, Alexander Bonnie-Sains, Matthew Bodie, Susanna Blumenthal, Elizabeth Bentley, Nadia Anguiano, class of 2017 Minnesota Law, Christopher Tarosky, class of 1998. Cara Galvin, Assistant Dean Jay Wong. Myron Orfield. Fanula Nielen. Jane-Ann Murray. Perry Moriarty. Amy Monahan. Brett McDonald. John Matheson. Claire Hill. Kristen Hickman. And Mackenzie Heinrich, class of 2018. Thank you to our faculty for all you've done to educate and support and guide this class to this moment. Now, as many of you know, this is my 18th year on the faculty of Minnesota Law, and it has been my privilege to watch so many proud graduates cross this stage. And I have listened to multiple deans stand in this spot and tell those graduates how they had overcome so many challenges, demonstrated their excellence, and were well prepared to embark on meaningful careers as attorneys and community leaders. And usually they were right. Well, this morning, it's my turn. You, class of 2024, have shown extraordinary perseverance in the face of challenges. You have proven your skill and your dedication. And you are ready to march out those doors to make your corner of the world better as members of an honorable profession. But you know, this year, those statements ring especially true. Challenges overcome? Oh yes. To start with, you've faced the ordinary rigors of a legal education, briefing cases late into the night, surviving Socratic cold calls and convoluted exam hypotheticals, the anxiety and effort of searching for that first job, and all the hard work you poured into clinics, moot courts, journals, and field placements. But, talk about challenges, on top of all that, you came into your 1L year in 2021, under the twin shadows of a continuing global pandemic and a year of protests and racial reckoning in Minneapolis and across the world. Then, you learned the law during a period of intense national polarization and growing distrust of the very institutions you were studying. And of course, this year, you've felt the ripple effects of terrorism and war halfway across the world here in the fabric of our campus and our own law school community. The world did not stay quiet or calm while you prepared yourself to change it. Yet, you persisted. And you made it through these challenges. And after today, you're going to have some nice calligraphy and a photo to prove it. So remember to smile, okay, when we do that? All right. Accomplishments galore? Of course, there's too many of them to name them all. Today, in particular, is a day to celebrate so many individual achievements. We will be presenting some awards later today, and there's a long list of many more talented and dedicated members of this class have earned. And this year we also celebrated multiple national victories of moot courts and mock trial teams, clinics, writing briefs, arguing cases, collaborating with the community, and advising clients on everything from taxes to clemency to environmental issues. One clinic wrote a brief for the US Supreme Court. Another had its students named Minnesota Lawyers of the Year. They hadn't even graduated yet. And another literally saved their client's life by winning asylum. And journals organized national symposia and published work that helps shape debate on important emerging issues. It's an impressive list, and I could go on and on and on, but I won't. What has humbled and inspired me the most this year has been the care you have shown for one another during all those difficult times and through all those individual victories. Together, you supported your classmates, and you learned to lean on them when you needed it as well. You know, there is a stereotype of law students and lawyers as self-centered, domineering, or cutthroat, But I don't think you'd ever know that if you visited Mondale Hall. Instead, you repeatedly found ways to lift one another up, listen to one another, learn and grow. And, importantly, you extended that open-minded and generous spirit to our whole community. So I love boasting about the pro bono work of our students. Some of you are wearing cords on your regalia today that recognize particularly dedicated service, and congratulations for that. But all our graduates found ways to give back. Indeed, last year, Minnesota law students provided over 97,000 hours of volunteer legal services to individuals who needed it. That's just about the same total number of hours that an attorney at an elite New York law firm would bill clients from the time they took the bar to the time they retired. And we did it in 1 year, for free. And next year, we'll do it again. So many clients were fortunate to have Minnesota law students, that's you, counseling them or advocating on their behalf. And of course, you're just getting started. Now, finally, having overcome those challenges I mentioned and proved your mettle, you are ready. You are ready. You head into that struggling and divided world ready to do your part. Because the world needs smart lawyers right now. Someone who believes the stereotype I mentioned before might roll their eyes at that statement, but I'm telling you, it's true. At Minnesota Law, you participated in vibrant community that joined together in developing the very mental habits and personal skills that the world really needs right now. You learned to analyze problems deeply, digging for their roots and questioning all assumptions. You learned to consider every point of view and look at issues from all sides. You learned empathy because you can't understand the other side without engaging it and listening, actually listening with care and attention. You learned that the rule of law and the institutions that uphold it are essential bulwarks of our democratic tradition. And you also learned that those rules and institutions can have profound flaws, requiring constant challenge to improve them and to help them live up to the promise of justice, fairness, and equity for which we strive. And now, you are on the cusp of joining a profession that endeavors to do that hard work every day, step by step, client by client, community by community. Now you are fully prepared to add your voice, heart, and mind to the very big job ahead. Just how you do that is up to you. 135 classes before you have faced that choice, and after leaving Minnesota Law, they fanned out to every state and to countries around the world to contribute in countless different ways. My own former students include judges, law firm partners, elected officials, prosecutors, civil rights attorneys, corporate and nonprofit leaders, public defenders, and yes, even a couple of law professors. One of my former students runs the pro bono program at a large law firm. Another is an executive at a movie studio. Another is the head of DEI at a large nonprofit, and another oversees privacy at a tech company. They all use the things they learned here at Minnesota Law every day. Now, maybe they recall the parole evidence rule or the doctrine of promissory estoppel. You will be reminded of all that legal knowledge when you study for the bar exam. And you will study for the bar exam. You don't want to have Professor Ronning after you, believe me. But much more importantly, they lean on the abilities of analysis, collaboration, listening, and problem solving that they sharpened here. And so will you. You are about to take your turn as successful attorneys, showing the world the value of a Minnesota law education. And by the way, I hope you will maintain that connection. All the love and care you showed for each other these 3 years, they do not end on graduation day. Maintain your ties with your classmates, friends, professors, and mentors from your time here. Drop us a line. Let us know what surprising things you've chosen to do with your degree. Please be the alum who responds to current students seeking advice right away with wisdom and friendship, remembering how hard it was for you when you were in their place. And tell all your colleagues with pride about how Minnesota law taught you so much more than legal doctrine. Our LLM and SJD graduates, lawyers who hail from 19 nations, you will stand out among other attorneys from your country, not only because you will know some US legal rules, but because you will truly understand how American lawyers in the common law tradition deconstruct problems. And as you've discovered, it can be really different than the way they do it back home. Our master's and patent graduates, who bring their science degrees and their interest in technology, you will be the patent agents and portfolio managers in your workplaces who not only know what the Manual of Patent Examining Procedures says, but you truly understand why it says that and how those rules promote innovation and reward inventors. And our JD graduates, after meeting all those challenges and demonstrating your brilliance, you are ready. You are ready to go out there and help your clients, improve the world, and make us proud. Ready to be the well-rounded, skillful, and public spirit attorneys that Minnesota law trained you to be. Congratulations, class of 2024. You are ready. It is now my privilege to present the Faculty Teaching Awards for the academic year. Stanley V. Kenyon graduated from Minnesota Law in 1933 and then was on the faculty for 40 years. He was a recognized scholar in the field of commercial law and known as a friend of students, both inside and outside the classroom. In his honor, his family and friends endowed the Stanley V. Kenyon Awards in teaching. Today, we have 3 recipients. First, from the tenure track faculty, the first recipient of the Kenyon Award is Professor Jill Hasday. Stay here. Professor Jill Hasday joined the law school faculty in 2005 and has been the Centennial Professor in Law since 2013. She teaches and writes in the area of anti-discrimination law, including constitutional law, family law, and legal history. In 2014, Professor Hasday became a distinguished McKnight University professor, and this is her second time winning the Kenyon Award, having previously been awarded in 2018. In nominating Professor Hasday, students noted, quote, "Her teaching, legal expertise, and passion for her students make her very deserving of the award." And, quote, "She always knows exactly what her students need to hear, and she empowers them to explore challenging intellectual questions. Her lectures are not just substantive, but artful." Congratulations, Jill. From the clinic, the Kenyon Award goes to Professor Elizabeth Bentley. Professor Bentley joined the law school in 2022 as a visiting assistant professor of law and specializes in federal and state constitutional law and appellate practice. She directs the Civil Rights Appellate Clinic, where students engage in state and federal appellate practice involving civil rights and social justice work. Prior to joining the faculty, Professor Bentley was special counsel to Senator Amy Klobuchar and the Senate Judiciary Committee during the confirmation of Associate Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, and she was an associate at Jones Day. In nominating Professor Bentley, students noted, quote, "Her clinic empowers students to take a significant role in high-stakes and high-profile litigation. Professor Bentley provides detailed, constructive feedback and creates multiple opportunities to expose students to the real world of civil rights advocates. And, quote, her excellent teaching, expert clinical management, and strong mentorship has made her quickly become one of Minnesota law's most beloved professors. As many of you know, Professor Bentley is leaving us this summer. That's what happens when the governor of the state appoints you as a judge on the Minnesota Court of Appeals. Congratulations, Betts. We are so grateful for our time with you, and we wish you all the best. And the final Kenyon Award goes to a member of the professional faculty, Professor Andrew Martineau. Professor Martineau is the Instructional Services Librarian and leads the law school's instructional program, which includes coordinating research instruction for first-year law students, teaching a practice-ready legal research course, and giving presentations on specialized legal research topics in upper division seminars. He's currently the president of the Minnesota Association of Law Libraries, and he serves as the vice chair and chair-elect of the AALL Law Library Journal Article of the Year jury. And he also does a mean tort cameo, I gotta say. In nominating Professor Martineau, students noted, quote, he is excellent at what he does and is kind and approachable with students with all questions. And quote, every time I have connected with Professor Martineau, I have walked away feeling more prepared and with a clearer sense of where to begin my research. He makes a task that will be part of all of our careers feel clearer, more approachable, and more manageable. Now, unfortunately, Andrew could not be here today, but let's all wish him hearty congratulations. So once again, congratulations to Jill, Betts, and Andrew. Now, today we are honoring all the members of the class of 2024 for their many achievements, as I said. I want to draw your attention to the Commencement program that recognizes many of our student award winners and major community contributions. Congratulations to everyone on your achievements and your efforts. At this point of the ceremony, we will honor a few students for especially distinguished academic, leadership, and service achievements and contributions to the law school. Yeah. I am now pleased to introduce a member of the graduating class, Amelia Lizarraga, who will present awards to outstanding students selected by their classmates. Amelia will present the Excellence in Public Service Award and the Most Outstanding Contribution Award. Amelia Lizarraga has been the Law Council Communications Director since the fall of 2022. She has also been involved in helping start school-wide initiatives such as Walter's Wardrobe. Among her involvement in various student organizations, she's a student director in the Immigration and Human Rights Clinic and a student director for the Civil Rights, Civil Liberties Moot Court class. Upon admission to the bar, Amelia will continue her legal career here in the Twin Cities. Welcome, Amelia.
Thank you, Interim Dean McEvern. And thank you for all of my classmates in the class of 2024 for nominating and voting for your peers. It is a pleasure and an honor to introduce the recipients of this year's class awards. I'm also so proud and lucky to call them both friends. The first award is the Excellence in Public Service Award. This award is presented to the student who most distinguished their commitment to public service during law school through participation in both formal and informal public service roles in the law school and in the legal community. I am thrilled to announce that the recipient of this year's Excellence in Public Service Award is Selma El Badawi. Selma has served as a student instructor for the Race-Informed Study Experience and Racial Equity and Justice Milestone, as well as orientation leader, admissions ambassador, and research assistant. She has volunteered with Homeline, the National Lawyers Guild, Trader Joe's United, the Amazon Labor Union, and the Employment Law Clinic. Selma also worked to reform Minnesota's Public Employment Labor Relations Act, which would restore labor rights to 23,000 University of Minnesota employees. She will continue to pursue her passion for workers' rights as an honors law clerk at Region 18 of the National Labor Relations Board in Minneapolis this fall. Please join me in congratulating Selma. And then you can have her stay. You're all good. You just go back up there. Next, it is my honor to present the Most Outstanding Contribution Award. This award honors the student who distinguished themselves by contributing the most to the graduating class during law school through outstanding class participation, involvement in academic programs, leadership in extracurricular activities, and enhancement of the law school experience. I am delighted to present the recipient of this year's Most Outstanding Contribution Award, Job O'Carey. Job has spent much of his time at UMN Law serving his peers as a member of Law Council. He started off as a 1L representative and then went on to become vice president and president. During his tenure, he secured additional funding that resulted in more than twofold increase in programming by student organizations. He spearheaded the ratification of long overdue amendments to the Honor Code. He created a director of wellness position and spent countless hours representing and advocating for students in various ways. Job's most rewarding time was spent mentoring students in his role as orientation leader. His greatest accomplishment, by far, is the friends he made along the way. Congratulations to Job. We are so grateful for your contributions to the class of 2024. Thank you, Selma and Job. These recipients are the embodiment of our values at Minnesota Law, and so many of our members of our class have made immeasurable contributions to the law school community. You should all feel an immense sense of pride for the profound impact you've made here. Now it is my pleasure to introduce my classmate, Luika Alexandre, who will present this year's class gift. Luika Alexandre has demonstrated a deep commitment to public interest law and social justice during her time at Minnesota Law. Her diverse experiences include working in public defense, the Detainee Rights Clinic, as an orientation leader welcoming new lawyers navigating their first time in a law school environment, and in housing law. Luika's leadership roles in organizations such as the Black Law Students Association and Women of Color Collective highlight her dedication to fostering inclusivity and community within the law school. Furthermore, her proactive efforts in establishing programs like the Book Donation Program showcase her ongoing commitment to improving the school environment. Luika's advocacy for diversity and her dedication to public service will continue through her work after law school.
Thank you, Amelia, for that kind introduction, and thank you all for being here. It is my pleasure to present this year's class gift in my role as co-chair for the Student Philanthropy Board and in my capacity within the class gift campaign group. This year's students had the opportunity to donate to whatever fund fostered their interests in this big but small community. Whether it is the Law School Musical Fund Tort, Mondale Kitchen, scholarships, or general funds for the entire law school. This year was challenging for many in the student body with the hardships around the world in Sudan, Congo, Palestine, and personally for me in Haiti. These donation efforts can seem small in the grand scheme of things, and they are. However, these donations help the student body in tangible ways to be able to make these years and studies better. These funds help students to attend school because of scholarships and in getting a more diverse faculty range. So this year, I'm pleased to announce that we achieved 17% participation, unlocking a total of $3,265. And a large number of the students donated $60 or more to the law school. And that is a significant donation given by our students. So, thank you to the alumni who participated, and a huge thank you to my fellow graduates for taking on the mission of lawyer leaders and paying it forward. I hope you'll continue to keep the mission of giving back to our communities, especially the underrepresented and underserved members of our community in mind as you leave the law school and head out into a world desperate for compassionate and introspective leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amelia and Luika, and the class of 2024. We really appreciate your generosity and your thoughtfulness with the class gift on behalf of the entire law school of generations past and future. And by the way, it's not too late to add your name if you haven't yet. Thank you so much. The oldest student honor is awarded by a faculty committee. It is called the William B. Lockhart Award for Excellence in Scholarship, Leadership, and Service. We also recognize law school community members who have made significant contributions to advancing equity and diversity with the Equity and Diversity Awards. I'd like to invite Mitch Zamoff, who is the Assistant Dean of Experiential Education and J. Stewart and Mario Thomas McClendon Clinical Professor of Law and Alternative Dispute Resolution, say that 5 times fast, to the podium to present the 2024 Lockhart Award. And following that, Rashaya G., Assistant Dean of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, will present the 2024 Equity and Diversity Award. First, welcome Dean Zamoff.
Good morning, everybody. Each year, the law school's Faculty Awards Committee selects the recipient of the William B. Lockhart Award for Excellence in Scholarship, Leadership, and Service. William B. Lockhart was the 5th dean of the law school, serving from 1956 to 1972. As dean, he enriched the curriculum and attracted leading scholars to the law school. During his 28 years on the faculty, he shared his gift for teaching with countless students and a gift of scholarly persuasion that ultimately influenced the United States Supreme Court. He was known for his combination of intellectual liveliness, personal warmth, and generosity in mentoring students and fellow scholars. I am honored to present this year's Lockhart Award to Amy Cohen. Amy now needs to stand awkwardly while I say nice things about her. Amy focused her law school career on public interest work. She volunteered for Mid-Minnesota Legal Aid and the Asylum Law Project. She served on the board of the Minnesota Justice Foundation and led numerous MJF events and committees. She served clients for 2 years in our Clemency Project Clinic, including as a student director. And Amy selflessly supported her fellow students as a structured study group instructor and a student mentor through the Women's Law Student Association. Amy also excelled as a scholar. She achieved at a high level in the classroom, and both her note on the right to counsel in pretrial proceedings and her essay on the right to counsel in habeas proceedings were published this year. She also received an award from the Minnesota Law Review for site checking and was a research assistant for the Robina Institute. Next year, Amy will be clerking for Justices McKeague and Thyssen of the Minnesota Supreme Court. Please join me in congratulating Amy on her award.
Mitch, you were supposed to give me a heads up that it was my turn. Thank you. Now, appreciate that. Okay. The Minnesota Law, Equity, and Diversity Award recognizes law students who have made significant contributions advancing equity and diversity through their work, extracurricular activities, and efforts to promote a welcoming and inclusive climate at the law school. I am delighted to present this year's Equity and Diversity Award to the first of two recipients, Loika Alexander. Loika was a member of the Minnesota Law Philanthropy Board, as you may have just heard, moot court director for the Midwest Black Law Student Association with different chapters throughout the region under her care. She was the 3L representative for Law Council. At various times during her law career, she has served as president, event coordinator, and board member of the Minnesota chapter of the Black Law Student Association. She's been a student orientation leader and is a founding member of the Women of Color Collective student group at the law school. During my many encounters with Loika, I was always struck by her commitment and efforts to make the law school a better place, both in the present, but also for future law students. It has been a pleasure to get to know her and to be inspired by her efforts. Congratulations, Loika. She said, "Can I leave?" I felt like I was holding her captive. Yes, please. Our second recipient of the Equity and Diversity Award is Sita Goya. Sorry, I forgot to get your award. There you go. Sita served as an executive board member of SALSA, South Asian Law Student Association, Outlaw for our LGBTQIA+ students, the Environmental and Energy Law Society, also known as EELS, and the Women of Color Collective. During her time in leadership at Outlaw, she worked to make the organization an inclusive space for those with intersecting identities. In her leadership capacity in EELS, she organized an event examining the impact of the 2022 flooding in Pakistan. Having gotten to know Sita during her time in law school, I have been immensely grateful for and inspired by her advocacy on behalf of students. My first encounter with Sita was her graciously reminding me of a student's pronouns. And in class, she thanked me for creating an inclusive classroom space. I believe both these instances are a reflection of her commitment to the law school community, and both have helped me be better in this role. Thank you, and congratulations, Sita.
Now it's time for us to hear directly from some of our students. First, it's my pleasure to introduce Leah Nardin, our LLM class speaker. Leah is originally from Lyon, France, and this is her 7th time in the United States. She studied law at the University Jean Moulin Lyon 3, a longtime partner of Minnesota Law, where she received a joint bachelor's degree in laws and political science and earned a university degree in American law. After studying as an exchange student at the University of Texas, Austin for the first year of her Master's in Public International Law, Leah earned her master's degree in 2023 with a thesis about the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court. She plans on sitting for the New York Bar this July and pursuing an international law career in the United States. Welcome, Leah.
Thank you, Interim Dean McGovern. Good morning, everyone. I want to extend a very warm welcome to all the families, friends, and loved ones who are here with us today, as well as those connected virtually, watching us from all over the country and the world. I feel very honored to speak in front of you today on behalf of my fellow LLM students. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what an LLM degree is, it is a Master of Laws for internationally trained lawyers. In other words, basically, we love law school so much back home that we decided, why not do it again? But in another country, in another language, you know, just to spice things up, because after all, law school is not that hard. So for all of us, it's not our first rodeo. We've been here before. I mean, not actually, though. It was somewhere else, in China, Cambodia, Sweden, India, Zimbabwe, South Korea, Uzbekistan, Thailand, Nigeria, Ukraine, Turkey, Germany, South Africa, Pakistan, Azerbaijan, Bosnia, or France. 17. This is the number of countries we LLM students represent here at Minnesota Law. Just take a second. Yeah. Just take a second to grasp how incredible that is. It is truly amazing what we accomplished to be here today. Through our differences, we learned from each other, we relied on each other, and we became friends. However, we did not do it alone. So, Kara, Anna, Karen, and Maya, thank you for everything. Thank you for introducing us to the Gopher community. Thank you for making us feel welcome and seen. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to help. And above all, thank you for taking us to the mall so we can survive the winter. To all the professors whose classes we took during the past year, thank you for your knowledge and dedication, even though it meant repeating 5 times the same thing. But above all, thank you for making us, against our will, the experts about our home country legal system. It made us feel smart, so we appreciate you. And last but not least, thank you for JDs for including us in your community, for sharing notes and outlines, for helping us navigate cold calls and exams, and simply for having us here at Minnesota Law. For many of us, the decision to leave familiar surroundings and immerse yourself in a foreign culture was a daunting one. Yet, it is precisely this leap into the unknown that has enriched our lives in ways we could have never imagined. Studying abroad is more than just an academic pursuit. It is a transformative journey that challenges us to step outside our comfort zone, broaden our horizons, and embrace the diversity of the world. It takes courage. From navigating language barriers to adapting to new customs and tradition, every experience has served as a lesson in resilience, adaptability, and cultural humility. We made the most of it every single day, despite the setbacks, the doubts, and the cold weather. We're the living proof that is not only possible, but it's also well-deserved. While we may tease you about your funny way of playing football with your hands, your weird rule to close bars and clubs at 2 a.m., your early dinner culture at 5 p.m., your scary way of wearing t-shirt outside when it's 60 degrees, your insanely expensive textbooks, we are mainly very grateful for your hospitality, your genuine curiosity about our cultures, your kindness and encouragement, your confidence in our success, your way of celebrating even the smallest victories, your targets in Trader Joe's and Sully Saloon, but mostly for giving us a home away from home. Each of us embark on this crazy journey thinking, is it as hard as people say it is? Will I want to quit? Will it be stressful? Will I want to book a flight back home? Will I really need to read thousands of pages every week? Will I have to put a slot on my calendar to do my laundry and see my friends? Will I have nightmares about networking? Turns out the answer is yes to all of the above. We went through it big time. But now, being in this room, I am pretty certain that every one of us wishes we could just go back to day one. The uncertainty, the unknown, and the fear of life outside of the law school walls is kicking in. However, as a dear professor reminded me, today is actually called the commencement ceremony because it's the beginning of the rest of our lives. Literally, everything is possible or imaginable. I am convinced that our crazy world has something very special in store for all of us. So please, leave this room with pride and your head held high, because we did it. Congratulations, graduates. May your futures be bright, your adventures be many, and your earths be forever filled with the drive to discover. Thank you.
With apologies for my pronunciation, merci beaucoup, Leah. Now, I'd like to introduce the member of the class of 2024 who will present the JD graduation address, Samuel Ferguson. Sam is from Milton, Georgia, and attended the University of Georgia, where he received degrees in violin performance, music theory, and education. Bringing his passion for teaching to Minnesota, Sam served as our school as a legal research and writing instructor, teaching assistant to Professor June Carbone, undergraduate teaching assistant, and irrepressible orientation leader. Additionally, Sam served on the executive board of the Minnesota Law Review, as the head admissions ambassador, again irrepressible, as a corporate law clerk at Land O'Lakes, and finally, he worked as a law clerk at Lathrop GPM, where he drafted affirmative asylum applications with the Advocates for Human Rights. After graduation, Sam will be joining Jones Day in Chicago. Welcome, Sam.
How's the hat? My mom's been standing up and being like, if you're watching this electric commencement speech many years later on YouTube, this is my challenge to you to do something about this. And thanks for laughing at the intro jokes. Make sure you also laughed at the ones in the real speech. Over the past 3 years, I've had the pleasure of sharing the difficult and fun journey of law school with the class of 2024. Throughout our time at Minnesota, we as a class have accomplished incredible feats, have made meaningful differences in the lives of our community, and have shown great personal growth as individuals. And while we're here today celebrating an incredible milestone, I want to take this time to talk about the path that we took to get here, and particularly the obstacles we overcame along the way. When we embarked on the journey of law school, we began by walking tentatively, fearful that the cold call, the difficult case, or a particularly challenging professor would be the thing that caused us to trip. Things quickly changed after our first year, but law school and life responded by bringing us new challenges that caused us to pause and evaluate how to move forward without falling. In reflecting on the past 3 years, this idea really stuck with me. The idea being, when we walk down a difficult path like law school, we will inevitably trip and fall. Mistakes will be made, embarrassing moments will happen, and difficult times will fall upon us. I myself have had many of these moments, some anxiety-inducing, some embarrassing, and some painful. There was one time I spent my entire spring break writing a research paper. After submitting the final copy, shutting my laptop, and cracking open a beer, I thought to myself, wow, I don't think I could write another word about this topic. Just to learn 2 days later that actually I was 2,000 words under the word requirement. My mind was racing. Was I going to fail the class? How long would I have to fix the mistake? I didn't think I could write one more word, much less 2,000. And when I was feeling down and I was feeling anxious about this stupid mistake, luckily for me, I was surrounded by classmates who were there to calm me down. I particularly remember that one of my classmates kindly let me know that she too had made that same mistake. And while I didn't feel great, I did feel better, and it was easier for me to keep moving forward. There were other times that I tripped in law school, except instead of fearing for my academic career, I was just plain embarrassed. One time, I was scheduled to interview a simulated client and mistakenly packed a pair of suit pants that I had not worn in 5, 6, 10 months. My plan was to wear comfortable pants to class and change into my suit later in the afternoon. As I emerged from the Mondale Hall bathroom after changing, my suit pants were so tight that I was unable to bend over to put my dress shoes on. My fear was simple. If I sat down in these pants, there was a strong possibility the button on my pants would fly off, hit my simulated client in the eye, and this fake lawsuit would turn into a real lawsuit with me as the defendant. I was embarrassed and uncomfortable, literally. But with no time to grab other pants, I was left with no choice but to wear my suit leggings to the interview. Again, though, my classmates, who were also there to interview said client, were there for me, making sure that my embarrassment didn't get in the way of me performing well in the simulation. They did exactly what they needed to do to calm me down, which was lie. They said, "Your pants are not that tight," or, "I think they look kind of European chic." And of course, over 3 years, there were many more challenging moments. I found that these experiences, these trip-ups on my path towards graduation, were part of the learning experience and made me better. But they only had this effect because each time, without needing to ask, my classmates were there, making sure that my trips didn't turn into a fall. In fact, if we take the time to think and reflect, all of us in the class of 2024 have had a time where we felt unsteady and needed our classmates to be there for us. While I've loved this journey that we've had together as classmates, I didn't come to appreciate the important role we played in supporting each other until I didn't just trip, but I fell. My fall was learning that last semester, before my final exams, my father had passed away. And it wasn't just a fall. My ass was sore, my knee was scraped, my head was bruised, and my heart was broken. When I felt like I couldn't get up on my own and cross the finish line, that was the end of another semester, again, my classmates were there to help me. They waited patiently as I dusted myself off. They offered me a hand as I slowly stood up and remembered how to walk again. And classmates I had never even spoken to were there as well, sending me class notes, checking in on me, and showing their support. Coming out on the other side of this experience, I cannot help but urge us to reflect on the thing that makes the class of 2024 special, our unwavering ability to be there for one another. We were there for one another when we took our first steps at orientation. We were there for one another when we made mistakes at our first summer internships. And we were there for one another when we ate so much Devani's pizza that was so flavorless, we were fearful we had contracted the novel coronavirus. And what I ask as our time as classmates comes to an end is that after today, we don't stop being there for one another. Up until now, we have all walked down a similar path, the path that led us to the ceremony. But after today, we will split off and walk many paths. And although we have finished law school, the obstacles won't stop as we walk out of this auditorium. In fact, they are likely to be more difficult and more frequent. The risk of tripping and falling will only become greater. It is now more than ever that we should not walk alone, but continue to walk with one another. Our paths diverge, but our support for one another should persist. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And I can't help but notice that he was able to bend his legs very nicely as he departed the stage. It is now my honor to introduce our distinguished alumnus and keynote speaker this morning. She is a transformational leader, a change maker, and a bridge builder. I'm thrilled to welcome Luana Ujala, class of 1998. Luana Ujala is the Chief Transformation Officer at the American Public Media Group and Minnesota Public Radio. She leads digital transformation strategy to advance the mission of creating the future of public media by amplifying voices to inform, include, and inspire. She was previously CEO of Caring Bridge, a global nonprofit social network dedicated to connecting friends and families facing any health journey. Prior to her role at Caring Bridge, Ujala served as Vice President of E-commerce for, how do you say this? Meijer Incorporated. Those of you who are from Michigan know this, right? Gonna go get some milk at Meijer, I know. Where she led its multi-channel grocery strategy. She previously held other executive positions in e-commerce and practiced law at Briggs & Morgan and Spartan Nash. She's been honored with many awards recognizing her success as a leader nationally and in the Twin Cities, including the 100 Who Care Award by Holding Company and IDEO 2020, Person to Know in 2020 by Twin Cities Business Magazine, and Most Admired CEO in 2019 by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal. She serves on the boards of the Women's Economic Roundtable and Wallen Education Partners. She received her BA from Northwestern University and her JD from the best law school in the world, the University of Minnesota Law School, where she participated in civil rights moot court and the Asylum Law Project, and where she delivered the student address at her commencement. And she currently serves on the law school's Board of Advisors. We are especially honored today to have a leader in public service and a distinguished graduate of the law school here with us. Let's give her a warm Minnesota law welcome.
Good morning. Sam, one day you'll have to put these on. And you did a very nice job. I have a lot of empathy for what you just did. So, good morning, class of 2024. I've been watching you from the stage. I'm Luana Ujala, and it is really wonderful to be here. Thank you for the invitation to share in the joy of this important milestone with you and your very special guests with you here today and also on the live stream. So thank you and welcome to those of you that are joining. Now, as was mentioned, the first time I was at this podium was in 1998 at my own law school commencement, and I'm delighted to be here 26 years later. So I'm looking at you graduates. Maybe you'll be up here one day 26 years later. I'm really, really proud to be a graduate of this law school. I was going to say that it was one of the finest in the world, but I guess it's the best in the world, isn't it? And I'm really glad to be here as you embark on this new phase of what's coming for you as an entry into your next chapter. So let me first acknowledge that when I was getting ready to come on stage, I was admiring this very fine-looking audience, and so many of you have traveled this journey with them. So I just want to say thank you to you. And for those of you that have played the very special role of raising these graduates, I salute you. Good job. Congratulations to you. Good job. And I also want to say to the graduates and their families that for any of you that are thinking about someone that you have loved and lost, like Sam and I want you to know that even though they're not here, they're in your hearts, and so they are here with you today. So I see you in your grief, and I just wanted to note that there are many people who would love to have been here for you during this time, and so I just wanted you to know that I'm thinking of them as well. So I want to start by just saying how influential my degree from the greatest law school in the world is. It's really opened up opportunities for me beyond my imagination as a first-generation Asian American. And my own career is an example of how your law school education can lead you to so many opportunities in law and in life. And I've been a lawyer at a firm, an in-house attorney. I've held various positions in for-profit, nonprofit organizations. I've had the privilege of being a board member here in Minnesota and for other organizations across the country and world. And I've developed many friendships through the practice of law and in business. And through these relationships, and frankly, really patient mentors and colleagues, I have found meaningful professional and volunteer opportunities in my career. And I've had a really interesting career, and it's the kind that I really wish for each of you. And candidly, at the age of 52, I feel like I'm just sort of getting going with my University of Minnesota Law School degree in tow. And now, as I look back on the journey since law school, I am most proud of two things. First, that my life is the extension of my parents' American dream. And they came to this country in the late 1960s from the Philippines, and they became proud American citizens years later. They came to an America that was open to their dream, where they could work hard, they could activate the education and training they received in their country of origin, and candidly, they built an enviable life. It was not easy. My father came to he came to North America with $352 in his wallet and a dream for a better life for himself and his future family. And my mother's dream was to be a mom. And she was very fortunate to have 4 children. So both my parents hoped that their children would be educated, that they would have opportunity, that they would be good people to other people. And though they've passed away, I continue to try and live up to those expectations throughout my life, whether it was through law or some other path that I've chosen along the way. And so I'm still working on that. I think I'm making okay progress. The second thing I'm most proud of is that I've had an interesting and fulfilling career while I've been building a strong family team. And my roles as Eric's wife and Cameron and Anna's mom and Ernesto and Atheni's daughter and a sister, a daughter-in-law, a mother and a sister, a great daughter-in-law to my in-laws, those have been the most rewarding roles in my life. And I hope that many of you will have those multiple roles if you want them, while you also advance your careers. And I will say that is also not easy, but it is wonderful when you prioritize work and home. And as you seek this sometimes elusive balance, I want you to remember the words of Geoffrey Chaucer, that time waits for no tide or man. And I'm going to say doesn't wait for a woman or them either. So these two things, generational pride and building a family team, they are not things that are often said when you ask lawyers what are their achievements. They think about the publications, the cases they've won, their status at the firm or on an executive team or on a board. They think about legal accolades that they've garnered in their careers. And I will say that yes, they are very impressive, and they can also be very personally meaningful too. And I'm sure this class of 2024 will have all of those achievements and much, much more. But I do wonder what you will be saying if you get the opportunity to be up here all those years later? What are you most proud of? Will it be your relationships, your commitment to the thing that you care deeply about, your vision for the world that you want, your service to other people? I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to finding out because there are so many opportunities in front of each of you. So I want to spend just a few moments talking about three things with you: power, words, and love. And graduates, I want to tell you that you sit here with all three today: power, words, and love. And they are wonderfully connected things. And when you use all three things, all three ingredients, you can create something profound in the world. Profound. Imagine what you can do, and imagine what you are capable of when you have the power to change, the words to articulate meaning, and the love of humanity to make a choice to serve other people. And this choice, to use all three, power, words, and love, that's your choice today. And that choice can have significant impact in how you navigate law and your life. You've heard it before, we do live in extraordinary times, and we desperately need the application of positive power, decent discourse, and empathy. In any media channel, you can instantly consume information about the divides in this nation and around the world. And the divides are economic, they're political, ideological, they're across race and religion, gender, sexual orientation. So there are many choices available to you with the power of a legal education. And with your new legal training, you can be a potential leader in diminishing these divisions and truly build human connection. This powerful legal education will actually allow you to be in rooms where things happen. They really happen. And this power is going to open doors for you in new ways, which will allow you to advance justice, advocate to protect the underrepresented, honoring your own principles for what is right, and preserving our democracy. And I hope that you're going to use your power to be thoughtful, humane, and use your voice for positive things in the world. Don't miss this moment in our history to be a part of progressing solutions in our society, because we really do need reasonable, thoughtful leaders like you to meet our challenges. In 1998, I went back and watched my old video. It was a tape. I stood at this podium and I asked my fellow classmates in the class of 1998 to stop reinforcing the negative reputation that lawyers have long had in our society. And today I'm going to ask this class to do the same exact thing. Do good with your degree. You have the capability to bring this powerful education you now have to help bring people together and to unify us as humans in a fractured time in our history, and to use the power of words to help and not hurt. And now let me say a few words about words. Throughout your education, you think you've been getting better and better at these words. Your family knows. They see you at the holidays. They see you on the weekends. You think you're getting pretty good. But the secret is that your words actually have the magical ability to really deeply influence, activate, and improve other people's lives. And of course, they also have the power to damage others as well, because of course, words matter. What I have found in my years since law school about words is that the simplest words and phrases are the hardest to deliver with the pure intentions we are capable of as humans. We can write solid legal memos, and we can deliver winning arguments in cases. We can persuade business leaders and politicians to take action, and yet at times, we cannot deliver the most simple phrases in the English language. Help me understand. I'm sorry. I care. I forgive you. Thank you. And if you can truly learn what these simple words and phrases mean and deliver them with pure intent, you are going to know an accomplishment that is greater than anything you can do in your legal profession. In my preparation for today, I noticed something about the research I did about commencement addresses, because I probably am not going to be asked to do this again. The addresses were devoid of any mention of love in all its forms, and I thought that was such a missed opportunity. Long before 1765, when Emily Dickinson wrote that love is all there is all we know of love. This sentiment existed in multiple languages throughout the history of civilization, and I decided that even with the formality of today's occasion, I would take this time to remind our graduates to remember love as you enter into this next phase of your professional and personal development. Don't forget it in all its glorious forms as you move forward in this next chapter. Love others, love what you do, love the people you hold dear, love your fellow humans, and love yourself throughout the many chapters you will write next. Love is all there is indeed. And if you add positive power and civil discourse to that love, I really believe you can progress our society and change history for the better. I encourage you to take that trio with you, power, words, and love, in whatever you choose to do. So finally, I'll honor the tradition I did learn about, where the speaker is supposed to give a few morsels of advice as you enter into your next phase. So I'm going to do a very quick top 10. The very first one is wear comfortable shoes to work. Ladies, I'm looking directly at you. There are enough opportunities to fall. Do not let shoes be one of those reasons. Second, you gotta ask for help. I need help is one of the most powerful sentences you can learn how to say. I'm actually quite amazed by how well my career progressed, by how little I knew, but it really helped when I was willing to ask somebody for help. Third, volunteer. Find something you really, really care about and raise your hand. While you are advancing something you care about deeply, it actually really helps somebody else. And time, talent, and treasure are all things that are needed to advance philanthropy. I was at law school too. I understand the treasure part might be a little tough, but you can balance all these things throughout the rest of your life. Fourth, get a good night's sleep. There are a lot of things to binge, I understand. But if you don't sleep well, you cannot be your best self, and you certainly will not be your best self to other people. And I know for sure that you know this one. Coffee is not a substitute for sleep. Fifth, this is a good one, dance it out. Dance it out. This is especially handy when you have wronged someone that you really care about. Ask for a dance at any moment. It's a really great trick to tire out the kids someday. And you don't have to be good at dancing, but I beg you to move your feet. Do not sway. You gotta dance it out. Some of you has a little uncomfortable laughter. I know who you are. You're swaying. Sixth, silence is golden. If you have the ability for 5 minutes a day to sit with yourself in absolute silence, make that a gift for yourself. You will learn the value of being still, and it will tame your restlessness, which is really critical for self-care. Seventh, always wear a one-piece bathing suit to your law firm's summer social. You might be asked to be in a canoe on the Rum River with a partner that happens to be absolutely terrible at steering a canoe such that it capsizes. So do what you will. Eighth, nurture your friendships by giving them the gift of your time. Don't put your friendships last. You will grow over time, they will too. See if you can grow together and build some common connection. 9, make gratitude a habit. This is a great day to say it, if you feel so inclined to do so. It feels so good to hear a thank you, and it takes remarkably little effort to say it out loud. And closing out my top 10, be careful how you speak to yourself. There's a voice in your mind that speaks to you. I know every single graduate has heard that voice before. Tame it over time. Tame it to be, and train it to be kind and caring. And if you do that, you're actually going to be kind and caring to other people. So with that, I'll just say, class of 2024, I am really excited for you. I am hopeful for you. I wish you each and every one of you a fun and fulfilling and rewarding career. I'll just say congratulations again on this very impressive achievement, and I thank you again for allowing me to be part of this day with you.
Thank you so much, Luana, for that heartfelt and inspiring speech, and for being such a great friend and supporter of the law school in many ways. Now, we've finally reached the moment you have all been waiting for, the conferring of degrees. Regent Mehran, would you please join me at the podium for a momentous occasion?
And thank you. And before I say those magic words and the moment you've all been waiting for, I just wanted to share with you a reflection I had as I was coming across the aisle and then to go on the stage. And it was 48 years ago that I walked on this stage here at Northrop and received my degree as a new lawyer. And it never occurred to me that I would get to return 48 years later and have the pleasure of conferring degrees to all of the wonderful students in this office, in the audience. It is a very special moment for me, and actually one that brought tears to my eyes as I walked onto the stage. So thank you for this opportunity. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Would the candidates please rise for the degrees of Juris Doctor, Masters of Law, Doctor of I need my glasses here. Juridical Science and Masters of Science in Patent Law. Please rise. Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the regents, I now confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified. Let's give a round of applause to everyone. Thank you.
Woot woot! Congratulations, graduates, and you may now move the tassels on your funny hats to signify this enormous accomplishment. Welcome to the newest alumni of the University of Minnesota Law School. The JD class of 2024 has selected Professor Jill Hasday and Assistant Dean Mitch Zamoff to present their class. Director of International and Graduate Programs Cara Galvin will present the LLM and SJD class, and Professor Christopher Tarosky will present the Masters of Science in Patent Law.
good? Nicole Acton.
Molly Clark Asan.
Luika Vidine Alexander.
Carter Davis Allen.
Dylan Allen.
Petra Asani.
Jack Atterbury.
Alex Barkley.
Zachary Baum.
Christopher Beach.
Brendan Lee Beckley.
Remy Bell.
Marina Berardino.
Tyler Blackman.
Maxwell Blosser.
Jasmine Boucher.
Jordan Bajora.
Joel Bransky.
Jacqueline Brandt.
Eric Breitenbach.
Annie Brooking.
Alejandria Brown.
Grant Buchanan.
Lauren Butler.
Rachel Kanun.
James Justin Carlton.
Nicole Carter.
Allison Casey.
Armand Chiachi.
James Shalou.
Jae-Yang Chen.
Lucy Chin.
Edward Choi.
Matthew Klein.
Amy Cohen.
Ryan Collins.
Annalise Couder.
Christy Lee Cruz.
Joanna Thiele Curry.
Evan Dale.
Philip de Sa Silva.
Dominic Detweiler.
Jake Dinkins.
Emily Ditzler.
Alexandra Dowick.
Evelyn Doran.
Lucy Doherty.
Simon Earl.
Aiden Ernest.
Pat Ebeling.
Jessica Egerton.
Emma Ehrlich.
Fiona Eck.
Selma L. Badowi.
Nina Elder.
Amira Kezea Therese Ellison.
Rachel Mendorfer.
Michael Fadden.
Samuel Ferguson.
Zachary Fisher.
Mary Fleming.
Jordan Lawrence Forberg.
Jacques Forbes.
Abby Frerick.
Michael Fritz.
Catherine Furlong.
Julia Gagnon.
Jocelyn Germain.
Carlia Girandini.
Sita Goyle.
Eve Graba.
Sierra Grandy.
Hannah Grayson.
Owen Greenfield.
Nicholas Grossart.
Olivia Gully.
Trey Gutierrez.
Kayla Haig.
Brandon Hahn.
Annalisa Brown Heyman.
Lindsay Hanson.
Irene Catlin Hedeman.
Jasmine Hernandez Dubois.
Carly Hying.
Kira Hankunen.
Kelso C. Horn.
Brittany Hubbard.
John Hudson.
Jessica Hughes Porter.
Julia Imperator.
Laura Jardine.
Bethany Jewison.
Gemma Young Joe.
Sierra M. Dinsmore Johnson.
Corinne Johnson.
Ian Johnson.
Alexa Johnson Gomez.
Anastasia Kadukov. Kadukov. My apologies.
Francis Helsinki.
Diana Kaka.
Beatrice Keeley.
Andrew Youngsung Kim.
Jung Ewan K. Jim.
Molly Kleist.
Adam Kolb.
Margaret Stafford Kovach.
Ryken Krebs.
David Lamb.
Randa Larson.
Matthew Launier.
Benjamin Lotcher.
Wills Layton.
Kira Lay.
Timothy Lee.
Harrison Lefoy.
John Crossland Liner.
Nicholas Lewis.
Yu Ying Lee.
Suhowdy Jewel Howdy. Lee, I'm sorry, Lee. Oh, Zuhowdy Jewel Howdy Lee.
Yolanda Lee.
Earl Johanse Pei Lin.
Vivian Lin.
Zachary Lindner.
Ryan Liston.
Amelia Lizarga.
Austin Lohman.
Sarah Lynham.
Elena Maycomer.
Amanda Maharg.
Lindsay Maher.
Mark Meyer.
Henry Mailer.
Ian Mallory.
Esther Matthew.
Ted Mathewitz.
Skylar Mayhew.
Tessa Christine Wright McConnell.
Michaela McNichol.
Suzanne Meda.
Philip Mellon.
Raymond Mestad.
Lizzie Miller.
Quinn Coleman Milligan.
Anna Grace Mitchell.
Eva Moline.
Joshua Moan.
Megan Catherine Mullenbach.
Murrah Murad.
Brian Murray.
Grant Newman.
John Noble.
Chad Nowlin.
Daniel Temby.
Sean O'Brien.
Katie Ocampo.
Job O'Carey.
Lee Owen.
Owen Palmer.
Isabel Park.
Ambika Patpatia.
Sierra Paulson.
Maria Pfister.
Laura Philip Tukur.
Christian Purnell.
Eric Quintana Snyder.
Samuel Ron.
Jacqueline Randolph.
Sean Radigan.
Emma Redinger.
Brandon Redman.
William Breimer Myers.
Caroline Marie Rice.
Julian Devon Roby.
Anthony Rodriguez.
Spencer Rojas.
Dominic Roosh.
Jeremy Rupert.
Antonio Sanchez.
Eve Sando.
Anna Schendel.
Dylan Sheppers.
Alexis Sherber.
Matthew Schmitz.
Alexandra Schrader Dobris.
Mallory Segurl.
Marie Silicano.
Elise Scarda.
Jamie Smith.
Matthew Connor Smith.
Patrick John Snabs.
Carlos Soto Quezada.
Luke Srodolski.
John Stack.
Taylor Leanne Steele.
Lucio Stefan.
Kyle Steinberg.
Jackson Tate.
Nicholas Taylor.
Alan Tayas Berkowitz.
Maxwell H. Terry.
Pujan Takrar.
Sergi Torres.
Adrian Tosoras.
Chelsea Trudgeon.
Giuseppe Tuminello.
Gordon Unzen.
Anitra Verhadker.
Catherine Vu.
Patrick Walsh.
Abigail Ward.
Hannah Weil.
Maya Wells Hermerding.
Natalie Wendland.
Benjamin White.
Delia Wilson.
Emma Whitmer.
Grace Wooster.
Sophia Yao.
Alexis Yerabaran.
Jai Yu.
James Zach.
Alexander Zhang.
Sean Zhang.
Sophia Evelyn Zink.
Mohammed Saeed Zini.
Let's have one more round of applause for the JD class of 2024.
Congratulations. It is now my honor to present the 2024 Master of Laws LLM class, starting with Oleksiy Borovic. Ilkin Gurbanov. Bulelwa Jita. Maximilian Ketta. Suleiman Kilik. Ni Lee. Maria Melnick. Amina Naban. Leah Nardon. Luisa Ntaji. Supachaya Pranit Pongkrung. Alisher Sadiev. Sena Semra Saleh. Jung Ho Shim. Rufaro Memory Siwela. Jayada Tripathi. Ken Huang. Muileng Yi. Chen Yu. Jiun Zhang. Juncheng Zhao. Let's hear it for the LLM class of 2024. It is also my honor to present our 2 Doctor of Juridical Science, or SJD, graduates. Saker Fadala Al-Sulaiti. Congratulations, Saker. And Guanming Liu.
Thank you.
Huge accomplishment. Congratulations.
It is now my honor to present the graduates in Masters of Science of Patent Law, starting with Nam Nguyen. Devani Sarah Rindy. Jonas Malang. Ritiparna Nayak. Now, would you please join me in congratulating the entire class of 2024 at the University of Minnesota Law School.
Wow! Congratulations, graduates. And just in case your hands are not quite sore enough yet, please join me in giving all of our graduates one more well-deserved round of applause. Class of 2024, you came to us as students, and today you leave us as lawyers or professionals. But of course, you never really leave us, and very much you never leave one another. I'm so proud of you. We are all so proud of you, and proud to have been able to share this journey with all of you. Congratulations. And thanks to everyone, to the distinguished guests, family, friends, staff, faculty, everyone who joined us today to help the class of 2024 celebrate. To conclude this ceremony, please stand and join us in singing the University of Minnesota anthem, led by members of our student tort musical group and Stone Arch Brass. whom I will thank in advance. Very importantly, the lyrics to the anthem are printed in your program on page 1. Thank you, distinguished guests, family, friends, everyone who came to help the class of 2024 celebrate. We are tremendously proud of them. We ask that the audience please remain seated until the faculty leads the class of 2024 out of the auditorium. Then you can find your graduate in the lobby or your previously designated meeting place. This concludes our ceremony. Thank you and congratulations.